So let's start off, and we're going to just draw a square on the ground. So I'm going to do this twice, so we'll see it from both ways. So this is our square, and we're going to do the exact same method. And what I might do is I might do another one here. So this is a square on the ground, and this is a square on its side. Okay, so we're going to do two different circles for the two different sort of angles, the most obvious angles that you will have. So let's go through them. I'll do this one on the ground first. Actually, you know what? I'm going to make that a little bit smaller. Something like that. So I have my rubber turned down a lot, so that's why it's not coming out properly. Okay, so this is my square on the ground, and we'll do the exact same technique. So we draw our square, then we get our midpoint. There we go. A little bit messy as per usual. So I'm drawing from the horizon line to get this line so that it's in the right area. Okay. And then for the horizontal line, you just want to try and keep it as straight as possible. So there's our one on the ground. And then again, we'll draw our little diamonds within. And you see, you could use that, this just as it is right now. If you weren't using a circle, this would be a really nice technique if you wanted to draw a really ornate floor, mosaic floor with like lots of different colored tiles and stuff like that. So, you know, that's just another technique that you could use. We'll do the same thing here on our circle that's going to be on the ground, or sorry, standing up. So again, if you can see now, I'm just like moving my page around. I'm moving around a lot on the chair just to get the angle right so that I can get the nicest, cleanest line. So, and again, sorry, I should have brought that back from the horizon line. Let's just do that again. That is the benefit of working in Photoshop, that you can just undo rather than having to rub out. Okay, something like that. A little bit rough, but I don't mind that. Then we get this one, that one. Okay, so that's our basic setup. That's how you do setup for a circle on the ground. And this one's for on the wall. Okay. So now we just do the same technique. I might zoom in a little bit here. And we're just going to go and draw a circle. Now, when you're doing this, you gotta try and imagine what the circle should look like on the ground. It's not going to be like just a regular circle. It's going to have the perspective in it. So it is something, it's kind of referred to as like the artist's eye, and it's something that'll get better with time and practice, like most things. So you're just going to have to keep on practicing and trying to envision what it's going to be like. So for this, I'm going to try and think of like, this is a tire, like a car tire that's lying on the ground. You know, it's in a junkyard, it's just lying on the ground. How would that look? What's the angles that would be involved in there? So I'm going to start off, and I'm going to just try and sort of map it out. Don't want to go too dark too quick, because I know this is going to take a lot of work to get right. I might actually just throw this onto a new layer just because I want to highlight it afterwards. So obviously that's a benefit that you guys don't have for this. So even though they're all semicircles and they're all going from point to point and point to point, you know, they're all slightly different shapes. And I suppose what you want to be looking at is, as a full circle, is it lopsided in any way? So if I just turn this off for a second, it shouldn't actually be lopsided. So this corner here, this quarter of our piece of fruit, if you want to think of it like that, this should be a little bit lower, because you can see this part is a little bit lower. This part should be a little bit further down, and this part should be a little further up. So it's keeping it within the confines of matching those 4 points, but it's how you get from point A to point B, and from B to C, and from C to D, okay? You got to make sure that you're connecting with all of these points, but then also it's got to look like it's even and working, okay? So it's not easy, okay? It's a little bit tricky. Takes a lot of finessing. And then usually a lot of rubbing out. So that's a little bit cleaner, I think. I'll just try. And just turn this up, or to adjust this slightly. And again, this isn't really a cleanup pass. This is just, I just want to make sure that the actual overall shape is working correctly. Because I will go back after this later on and go over this and try and make it a little bit cleaner. Although, like I say, my drawings are always a bit messy, so it's never going to be that clean. And let's, okay, something like that maybe. So that's not too bad. And then we'll have a look at this other one here as well. It's just going from point to point. And making sure each little segment works, but then also that the whole thing works as well. So for whatever reason, I always find the ones that are vertical, like this one here, a lot easier than the horizontal ones.